we should wrap before 7.
Then we should go because we have 2 minutes to 6.
Welcome back to another episode of the Junk Monkeys podcast, everybody. Yeah, that's right. I can just jump right in,
You
Dan,
sure
like
can.
a pool, like me just.
Whoa.
That's me in a pool. That's me in a pool splash. Hey, what's up? I'm Randy McLeod. I'm joined by Noah Garbutt.
Hello there.
Bradley Gertson.
Yeah, it's me.
And Daniel Mosionier. Hey, guess what?
What the fuck are you laughing at?
Really get that.
What are you laughing at,
It
motherfucker?
sounded like it came from you. That sounded like a sound just cut in.
I did not expect that at all.
I took dot damage when you said my name.
Well, that really threw me off.
This is gonna be a great intro.
Oh, it's gonna be great. So this episode, we're gonna be talking about post-secondary education and all of our experiences with. This is a train wreck.
I know, and I love it.
So yeah, stick around for this episode
of the Junk Monkeys podcast. Why are you like coked out of your mind?
I don't know, man.
That
I didn't
was so
take any
funny.
medication before this. Like, I'm perfectly fine.
Well, there's your problem.
I think I'm just really tired.
You didn't take the Junk Monkeys sponsored MDMA package? What the hell is wrong with
Speaking
you?
of, welcome.
New strain of weed from Junk Monkeys.
Junk Monkeys, the Skunk Monkeys.
Skunk Monkey.
Woo! Hey, welcome back, everyone.
Skunk you monk.
Hate that.
More like skunk a monk.
Skunk a monk. Just in a monk of
Fucking
doobie.
pick up an actual skunk.
You don't cock a skunk.
Clearly, you've never handled a skunk.
You just yank on it.
Loads up the fucking spray.
Oh my god.
You fucking smack it on the belly.
Oh,
you,
no.
you squeeze it like a ketchup packet.
It's like putting a vacuum in reverse.
You squeeze it like a fucking mustard packet.
It's like a bagpipe.
Holy shit, I can't wait for this to go live.
This is a great start.
This is fucking fantastic. You squeeze it like a ketchup packet. Dude, it's already so hot in here.
Yeah, I know. I was
I'm
about to
fucking
say it.
sweating.
Oh, hey,
boy.
what's going on,
Hey,
everyone?
Ran.
Hey, Dan. I just want to give a little intro.
Yeah.
So, bad news once again, everyone.
Again.
We had...
Don't fucking wee me into this.
I had a fantastic episode prepped.
Oh.
It was all about
Banger.
hobbies and all of our
Yeah.
interests, and like I wasn't apparently coked out of my mind for it. Like it was great. And then I got home and it was just magically gone.
Wait, just like that.
Like that, gone.
that.
Dan snapping. There you
God.
go.
You seriously missed that?
Miss what?
What's going on?
What is wrong with you guys?
So yeah, that's gone. So we were like, well, that sucks. So I guess we'll just like redo the conversation. And Brad's like, nope, we're not doing that.
I was fine with that because I have no problem redoing a conversation. And
Yeah.
Brad was like, we physically cannot do that.
Well, we've done it
Right.
twice
Like,
oh,
before,
maybe not.
and it's usually never as good as the first time.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of excited because that means we go to our backup topic, which was post-secondary education.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody loves talking about school, right? Woo!
We love school.
No, I love school.
No.
Not a fan.
Not a big fan. So expensive.
Really not anywhere near top of my list. This is also what Noah sounds like.
Yeah, definitely.
In my mind.
Thankfully, all four of us have been to a post-secondary education
Hell
institution.
yeah, we have.
In some capacity.
In some capacity, some more than others, and so like I figured we could talk about it. And it once again, this won't be like super structured. Like we had our hobbies episode, and it was kind of like a just chatting.
I was just vibing. Man.
Yeah, everybody was
Straight
vibing,
vibes.
talking about our interests and stuff like that. That's what this is going to be as well. Well, I'm gonna have pop. I'm gonna
fucking pop myself.
I'm gonna have questions pop into my head, and I'll be like, "Hey, Noah, I just thought of this question. Why don't I ask you it?" You know?
Share experience. I have a lot of like really cool and fun experiences to share.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the thing. Like everybody has had different experiences. Nothing more boring in this life than two people talking about the same experience that they had.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not all going to talk about high school, so.
Yeah, exactly.
This is college.
This is
slash
college.
University.
This is university. And
Dan, sorry, community college.
doesn't count.
Get the hell out of here.
Get out of my booth.
Your booth.
John Wilkes Booth. Get out.
He's coming.
Oh shit!
He's gonna fuck your,
Watch out.
he's gonna fuck your shit up. Remember that time Abe Lincoln got fucking dunked on by that fucking guy?
No, actually.
I wasn't
I
actually
wasn't
there.
alive. So the way I wanted to start this off, because I was thinking about it 10 minutes ago, and I was like,
I was also thinking about it 10 minutes ago.
why don't we go around the room?
Yeah.
Because some of our viewers and listeners may not have known what we've done.
I'm sure the majority of them don't.
Yeah, exactly. I've talked about my schooling to death, but like, so I'm going to start with Brad, actually.
Ooh.
Because he's the newest to the crew
I
of
am-
the
that's
post-secondary.
I'm the newest post-secondary or
So Brad, sorry.
I'd like to point out really quickly for the viewers at home that Brad is wearing a fucking fly as hell outfit right now.
yeah.
He's got a sweater on, a yellow sweater that's straight out of the 80s.
Hell
a
yeah.
cool printed shirt. And he's
He could be in Mad Men,
he's popping right now.
you know?
wet like water.
What, like water.
Wet like water.
What the hell does that mean?
He's dripping.
Oh.
Dripping. I'm so wet. I'm dripping. Okay.
You need to put some weights on your shoes because you are flying.
In a way into the future.
So Brad, basically, like, tell us what you've been doing for post-secondary
Hell
education, how many more years you may have,
Mhm.
and just tell me one thing you're loving about it.
Okay. For me, I went to a big old business degree for finances, which is hence the dripped out suit. I'm working at the bank right now,
Hell yeah.
doing that thing for the summer, and I don't know, it's pretty all right. I kind of don't like post-secondary school,
Hey,
to be honest.
there
but-
it is.
Which is totally fair.
Yeah, and
It's not for everybody.
didn't connect with too many people in my classroom. Like, had like one good friend in it, and it was kind of like one of those jump into the school, get your work done, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the vibe for school. So
Mm.
yeah, but yeah, it was a all right time. Played
And-
volleyball while I was there, so that was good.
And I remember before you went to school, I think it was like maybe a month or two before,
Yeah.
you were like, man, why would you go to school? Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, I got so much life ahead of me. Why don't I spend this time, to like go out and explore and find new experiences?
Yeah, I was like,
and then the
let's go
next
somewhere.
shift, Brad came in. He's like, so I'm going to school.
I don't have any money.
Going to ACC.
Yeah, it literally was like, let's go travel or do something. I was like, I got so much time to do school, and then the volleyball team was like, you want to come play volleyball? I was like, fuck, yeah. There goes all my plans. Let's
They
let's go
gave
do
you
that.
a scholarship, didn't they?
No, not at all.
No.
No, I just
Okay.
was like, oh, it's a good excuse to go back, I guess.
Play the ball.
Played the ball,
The ball.
and it was really fun.
Volley some balls.
Volley
Yeah.
some balls. Just volley them sometimes.
Some
though.
Bollywood.
Occasional
Volley-
volleyball.
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 Schmollywood.
When I was a kid, I called it
That was my
volleyball
nickname in high school.
Volleyball?
because I was fucking stupid. It's really funny. I want to play volleyball.
Brad, like, I think we're gonna swing back to the idea of not enjoying post-secondary
For sure.
education, because I feel like we all probably have that sort of feeling sometime.
Oh yeah,
No.
there could be an in-depth conversation.
Except for
about
you.
that.
Absolutely not.
I think you know what, Dan? Why don't you go actually?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about what you did,
Yeah,
how long it took,
sure.
and what you loved about it?
Cool. I went to ACC as well. Didn't see you there. Makes sense.
No, didn't see
As
there
soon as
either.
I said it, I was like, age difference.
There's a difference.
Makes sense.
I'm a child.
You're a little baby boy.
A little baby
Baby
bitch
boy.
boy.
I took it's a different name now, but it was called the Interactive Media Arts Program.
What's it called now?
Dave.
Chappelle.
Oh, good topical.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Who the hell is that? Why do I know that
That's a
name?
comedian.
Oh. Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Nope.
No? Why not?
Bad guy.
Well, what do you do?
He makes a lot of transphobic jokes.
Oh.
Yep.
Fuck you, Dave. I'm going to
Yeah.
add Dave Chappelle. Cut this out, send it to him.
Fuck you, Dave.
Fuck you, Dave.
Anyway.
So I took the Interactive Media Arts Program. It's now called, I don't know, fucking something.
Mm-hmm.
Media fuckers.
I can't believe they called it that.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I'm
Wild.
It's on the door.
It's on the fucking sign. It's on the
those
website.
Those media fuckers.
And it was a lot of audio and video production. So we did a lot of video editing and audio editing and video acquisition, like going out and filming and doing interviews and news stories. And then when you got into your second year, you really had an opportunity to focus on what you wanted. So a lot of people were focusing on news, because if you want to be safe in media, at least when we were in college, it was pretty advisable to focus on news,
Yeah.
because you could just go get a fucking job at like in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
You could just go be a field reporter, and you're probably going to get a job doing that. I don't know if the market's still the same, but I focused on audio, because that's always been my thing. I'm a musician. I really like making music. I really like doing audio editing. I like doing this podcast. So it was a 2-year program. And believe it or not, it took me 2 years.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, quick.
Damn.
Finished it in the allotted time. Wow.
Exactly.
crazy, man.
I had a plan. I stuck to it. Got it done.
Fucking sick. God, that reminds me of, there was a kid, not a kid, there was a guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but first day of school, we're all going through our introductions, we're meeting people. We get into audio production class for the first day, and our instructor, she's telling us like to turn up our computers and open up Audition, which is the audio DAW that I use.
Yeah.
And the guy next to me, he taps on my shoulder, and he goes, hey, and I go, what's up, man? He goes, how do you turn the computer on?
No.
I'm not kidding. And I go, the power button. And he goes, oh, this right here. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay, thanks. And he turns it on, and he's like, where's Audition? And I'm like, oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything. I helped him.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't come back. Literally first day he left. It was everyone's looking at me stunned. It was fucking funny. He didn't know how to turn on the computer.
He was in the wrong classroom.
Yeah,
He was like,
straight
oh,
up.
shit.
Wrong class.
It was so fucking funny. I was like, what the hell? In my mind, I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, this is not for you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Go do something else. But it was really fun. I really, really enjoyed it. God, college is just so much of a far cry from high school. Because in high school, you're doing things because you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in college, and I'm sure this is true for everybody, in college, ideally, you're doing it because you want to. And this was something I actually really wanted to do, because it was like, oh, I can go take this program that's like a mixed bag of media that's right up my alley right here in Brandon. Perfect. And that's exactly what I did. I got a couple really cool opportunities when I was in college. I went to Las Vegas for one of the...
Which is still
for
insane.
a trip, yeah.
That's fucking awesome, man.
There is a convention called NAB, or the National Association of Broadcasters, and it's like it's an industry-only convention. You have to be invited. But the IMA program, I don't know, some fucking how has an in. So our teacher, Mr. Greg Sherris, every year he takes the second years to Las Vegas for the NAB.
Wow.
Except for last year, because COVID.
Right.
Get fucked
Right.
last year's. But we got to go to Vegas. We were there for a week plus a day on each end for travel. So we were there for 7 days. It was fantastic. It was a huge tech show. Audio equipment and video equipment, and it was fucking awesome. And then you got to walk around Vegas, and we went to the Strip, and we went to the buffets and shows, and that was super cool. And then another one, I got to go on another trip. I got back from the Vegas trip, had a day, and on that day that I got back, had a free day, on that day, got picked to go to the Dallas trip.
Oh.
Next day, was planning. Day after that, got on a plane, flew off to Dallas.
I didn't know it was that like concentrated.
It was like back to back.
Holy shit.
I got back and they were like, "We're picking you," and I was like, "Fuck off."
No.
But it was picked based on it was picked based on work ethic and skill.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
kind of the elite.
So I went to Dallas, and that wasn't for like the Vegas trip was. I'm not gonna say it was a pleasure trip, because we were required to go to the NAB convention for X many hours a day. They were like, spend at least first day we want you there the whole day. Second day, the rest of the days, spend at least a couple hours. That's what you're here for. You're here to learn. You're here to make contacts. I still have contacts that I still talk to sometimes on email with from the NAB conference. But the Dallas trip, the ACHA women's hockey team for ACC, so the ACC college hockey team, they were playing in the Nationals.
Yeah, they're really good at hockey. Fun fact.
Spoiler, they won the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, they did it again this year.
Did they?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
They're so good, man.
But
It's
the reason I was on the trip is because they picked a couple of us media. They picked two. In the IMA program, there were tech students in the second year, and then there were communication students. And the comms focused on news and writing, and the techs focused on editing and producing and filming. And so I was a tech, obviously.
Right.
So they picked two techs and two comms, one to send on the trip, and I was one of them. So we went, and we were like the news crew, following these guys, producing. Actually, they're still on YouTube. Really high quality like newsreels and like recaps of the day. And we bought like special, really high quality like Envato. You're probably familiar, graphical packages for like overlays and sports things. Like,
okay.
For like Photoshop and stuff like that. And we produced actually surprisingly high quality Better than anything I've made. Newsreels for them every day. It was really hectic because we had to film them the whole day. And then by the time, when they finished, we then had a couple hours to put together everything and release a 10-minute news package.
That's crazy to me.
That is a lot.
5 days straight. It was
because that's the
hell.
news cycle.
It was hell
Yeah.
for the first 2 days. First day was brutal. We fucked up so much. But then we got into a pattern. And then we got into a rhythm. And we started knowing what we were doing. And we, like, on the fly, we're coming up with systems as to, like, the big problem we were facing when we were planning it was, like, how do we really quickly sync up our cameras? Because we didn't have the systems to wirelessly sync our cameras. Those cost thousands of dollars.
Right.
So what we did is I had my other tech shooter. His name was Brendan. And he was shooting up in the stands to get an overview of the hockey arena. And I was shooting down low to get like close-ups. And what we would do, 1, 2, 3, click the button at the same time. That was our fucking system. It sucked.
Saved you thousands
And
of dollars.
it worked.
Yeah.
Once we had it down, at one point we stopped. Our cameras were hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds.
Right.
At one point, we both stopped on the same millisecond. It was fucking
Stop.
wild. No, it was
Insane.
hilarious.
That's insane.
But it was brutal, that trip.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, it was hell.
If I may, was that
Yeah.
second trip like? Obviously, the first one was like more for like learning and
Meeting people.
Yeah,
it
like
was also
networking.
Networking. There was also no deadlines or anything.
Yes, exactly.
We weren't doing work there.
So did you enjoy the Dallas trip even though it was hell?
Okay, so when I was on the Dallas trip, I really hated it.
Okay.
I did not like it.
Yeah.
In retrospect, it was some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I'd say they were probably equal, but for different reasons.
Right.
Because they weren't the same thing.
Right.
Well, it's different. Yeah, it's different experiences.
Yeah. Because the first one was just fun. We were running around a fucking humongous arena.
Yeah.
Like 5 or 6 times the size of like the entire Keystone Center.
Oh shit.
Not just like
Parking
the arena.
lot, like parking lot included.
No, the building.
Okay.
But it was
Talking like a parking lot?
Parking lot included?
massive. What?
Parking lot included.
Talking parking lot?
No.
No.
Answer you already.
How big was the parking lot, though?
Oh my fucking Christ, guys! They have a monorail system running out through the entire strip.
Bro,
It's just elevated,
shout out to monorails.
right?
Oh my
I was
god.
gonna say, why don't we have one? But
Shout out to Pears.
B Town.
B-Town. Could you
B-Town.
imagine getting from PV Mart to the mall in seconds?
Dude, I fuck with
I don't know about seconds. That's a pretty wild.
That's a tall ask.
You have to be at
Bullet
like
train.
2,000. You have to be a Mach 80.
Yeah, Brandon's gonna install a bullet train.
Yeah,
real
we're
quick.
getting a bullet train, baby.
Bullet train.
Can't wait for somebody to just fucking fuck that up.
Actually, no. Do you know how many accidents Japan has had with its bullet trains since they were made?
I don't have that information.
I'm pretty sure it's 1, and no one died. There have never been any fatalities related to Japanese bullet trains.
Wow.
No,
Mad.
they're safer than planes.
I wish we had some sort of
They're also
infrastructure like that.
they're also in the long run incredibly cost efficient.
Yeah.
Like if the U.S. had a transnational
Bullet train?
bullet train system, it would save them so much money in aviation fees every year because they're
Yeah, but then
really
you can't
fast.
sell Ford F-150s to people.
Have you seen r/fuck cars?
No, I haven't.
Oh well, that's the movement. Have you seen cars in Europe? You could fit 2
No, I
cars.
saw it in the
I
movie
have
theater.
seen
You
this.
could fit 2 European cars into the size of a fucking American car.
Yeah, that's
American
big as
cars
fuck.
don't fit in parking spots in Europe.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Stupid.
It's really stupid.
That's really stupid.
Anyways, those were my 2 trips. They were fantastic. I liked the education as a whole overall.
Yep.
Still talk to a lot of my friends from there. Glad I did it. Didn't have to pay a cent for it.
Yeah, and
That was fucking awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, that's dope.
that usually helps.
You know what? That was a big factor.
Yeah.
Because it was the biggest factor. Because if I didn't get my scholarship, I'd be like, well, I'm not going. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so that was cool though.
How much was it for a year, do you know?
It was 19,000 for both years. So
Yeah. Yep. I'm in debt right now.
Yeah, me too.
it was like 18,900 and something. So
Damn. Noah Garbutt. Do you want to talk about school?
I guess I can talk about
kind of
school.
have to.
I mean,
Kind of why we're
I
here,
have
man.
to. I'm
You
here.
don't have to, but I mean, it'd be really weird if you didn't.
can you chat about your school and history?
So I have a vastly different schooling history than anybody else on here, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a unique one.
Straight out of high school, I took 1 year off just to work. And in that year, I did some traveling. I went down to the Caribbean and I did scuba diving and stuff.
Oh, that was that.
That
year.
was so cool seeing your stories and stuff.
I did that. And then this was an agreement with my parents. Because my mom is a teacher and really wanted me to go to post-secondary education. And
Makes
I really
sense.
didn't want to.
Yeah.
So the agreement was that I would take a year off right out of high school and then the next year go to school. So I ended up going to Brandon University and I went to go take just a general bachelor's of science. And it was really interesting taking a year off after 4 years of high school and kind of like losing all the rhythm of daily schoolwork
Yeah.
and then kind of dropping right back into a situation where they fully expect you to have just come from 4 years of
Yep.
doing daily
Yep.
work.
Yep.
So that was really difficult for me.
Jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially because university and a lot of the sciences and stuff, it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of reading and stuff. And I have discovered that I'm not that kind of learner.
Yes.
I'm a very tactile person. I like
You're
to
visual.
and tactile. I
Yeah.
like to manipulate things with my hands and visually see progress.
Learn by doing.
Exactly.
ACC.
But at the same point, it was also really good because when I went there, I did my biology because I'm still really interested in biology, and I actually failed my first semester in biology.
Let's go, baby.
which was surprising to me, but also a wake-up call because I couldn't just like coast through
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Elton, that's what we did, man.
Yeah.
We coasted, baby. We
Exactly.
coasted hard.
So then second semester, I retook the course and I passed with flying colors. I did a catch-up course to do chemistry, and I also did like another physics course and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all really good. But then by the end of it all, I realized that kind of post-secondary was not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah, I get you.
it left me just drained. The only thing that was really keeping me going through that was the biology and the sociology with, I don't know if you've ever had a class with Dr. Schneider,
No, I've heard the name though.
but he is one of the funniest professors out there. If you get the chance to do sociology, do it. He's super relaxed. He'll give you like exam questions at the end of every class as like your incentive to showing up.
Okay.
And he just does he does like wacky like dress up and everything. Like he's dressed up in he came in wearing like sweats and a sweater and everything. And sociology is like the study of basically psychology, but on a scale of a large public.
On the social level.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he would walk up to the stage and everything, and he'd be like, "What gender do you guys think that I'm like portraying right now?" And this is a 50-year-old guy with a like 2-foot long gray beard. So we were all just like, "Well, you look like a guy, like you're portraying male." Then he pulled his hands out of his pockets, and they were all painted. And he's like, "What about now?" And it's like, "Well, fruity." And then he like took off his sweats, took off his sweater and everything, and he was in like a pink tutu.
Oh, no.
Oh shit.
And he just did this in front of class, and every class was something different, and it was great. He's wonderful, but that wasn't enough to keep me at BU.
The tutu was
You know
not
what?
enough.
Needed more.
Need more
Yeah.
tutus. There was like
Um,
6 tutus a year, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, no,
Tutu quota, not high enough.
I need
Exactly.
2 tutus.
2 tutus at least.
At least.
So then,
Thanks.
You're welcome, man.
the year after that, I had the wonderful opportunity through family and friends to actually end up going to New Zealand and working. Like I did a whole nother thing where I worked for a year and then I would go back to school. And I went to New Zealand and I got to work on a dairy farm for 5 months.
Mhm.
And that was a fantastic experience. I recommend.
I recommend going to New Zealand and working on a dairy farm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
It was so much fun. It's not going to sound like fun when I describe it because I was waking up at 3 a.m. almost every day,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, brother.
and I would work till like 5.
Nope.
But it was some of the most fun I've ever had, just kind of like mindlessly doing work.
Yeah.
Because after that, it was because you're in a different country and everything.
Explore.
Yeah, and the people that I was staying with and everything, they were super inclusive on like bringing me along. Like, went to go look at the ocean and stuff because I've never stepped foot. Well, I guess I had stepped foot in an ocean because I had gone scuba diving, but I'd never
You
been
did,
to like
yes.
a
It's more than
yeah.
a foot, but yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, a few feet.
Whole body in there.
Both feet, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 30 feet
Yeah.
in an ocean. Anyways, But
It's
then,
about like 2 feet.
but then you get to learn like so much different culture and everything. Like I learned how to play rugby. I learned a lot of history on New Zealand and everything. We did like a whole zipline tour, and they talked about like they used to have, I can't remember what they were called, but basically giant hawks that would come and like snatch kids
Oh shit.
Damn.
in like
Fuck.
ancient,
New Zealand sounds sick, man.
ancient times, and it was great. And then I guess after that I came back and I did my most recent schooling, which
Little stint.
was I went to ACC Community College, Assiniboine Community College.
Assiniboine
And-
Community College.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
the-
nice.
The full name.
Yeah.
And I did.
Please, that was my father.
Most people don't know that that's actually the name of the college.
Yes. It's on the
and
building, actually. It's really long.
No, it's like, shut the hell
They
up.
couldn't fit it all, so that's why they have like the first acronym. and
Oh,
everything.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I did 1 year of automotive trades
Mhm.
because I've always enjoyed, like I said, working with my hands and everything, and working on cars was something that another friend of mine, Carter, would always like invite us over to do, and it became a really big interest of mine. Unfortunately, it took an entire year of schooling to realize that that's not something that I wanted to pursue.
Yep.
And I'm both very thankful and also like I feel guilty about it because like, you know, I wasted all that time, but at the same point you always have to remember like
It's not
Still-
wasting, man.
yeah, no.
It's not wasting.
My
It's also
favorite,
it's just a year.
my favorite thing that my dad has ever told me is like, learning knowledge never goes away.
No.
Facts.
It might like dull. It might like not be as sharp. You know, you're like, but when you learn something, you paid $5,000 for something you're gonna have in your mind for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's going to be like riding a bike.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think the automotive trades were awesome because I'm always going to have that know-how because now
No one know how.
no one know how. Because yeah, now if anything's like wrong on my car or something, I'm not intimidated by the check engine light anymore.
Yeah.
I have all the tools and everything to fix it, and now like my parents will come to me being like, I have this check engine light, can you check it out? And I will, and like I'll fix it up and everything, and it saves them. Like the savings are unimaginable.
Mhm.
Like I'm buying right now I have a hood latch striker and a serpentine belt from my mom's Jeep, and it came out to $70.
Oh shit.
What would that have been if you had to take it like somewhere?
They were quoting just the hood striker latch for $124.
And then you got shop hours on top of that, which is like $120.
That's the one that's
Yeah.
cost most.
Yeah.
Yeah, labor
Yeah.
hours a lot.
Yeah. So like all that, and the benefits are endless on it.
Might as well just enslave your kid, man. Why not?
Pardon?
And,
Just do that.
Yeah, so that's kind of been my experience with education. It's been very like hit and miss. Like I
Mm.
haven't found something that I really want to pursue totally. But at the same point, like I still have all these experiences and everything.
What's really interesting, like just hearing you talk about that, is like you brought up the New Zealand trip, and stick with me on this, but like that doesn't seem like post-secondary education, education, and like it's not an institution, right? But if anything, you spent a year learning about
Yourself.
yourself, a completely different culture, and fucking did you know anything about cows before you went over to New Zealand?
No, I also learned like a ton about the industry and everything.
So out of those 3 years of your education so far, was New Zealand the most profitable in quotation marks?
It was the most fun.
Yeah.
It was the most fun, and I feel like the knowledge that I retained from that is going to be the knowledge that I'm going to like always look back on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not going to look back on BU and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could remember exactly what I was doing every single month." when I
No,
was
you're
in
going to
BU.
remember the tutu
Yeah.
because like that was fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I'm going to remember. Whereas if I go back to New Zealand, I can be like, "Oh yeah, no, in December we did this, in January we did this, and that was years ago."
Yeah.
And that's something that's just going to be more expressed.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And I think that like that kind of feeds into the fact that like after high school, university, college, whatever you want to go to, community college, I don't know.
Why do you make the distinction?
No, you said it earlier, so I
Dickhead.
thought there was a.
You looked him. You gestured to me too.
Because you went to ACC.
What the fuck? So did he.
And me.
Yeah, that's true.
What dickhead?
I didn't mean it in a bad way. But like each one, like just because it slaps the word institution on it does not mean that like this is the only place that you can get like learn. This is the only place that you can learn.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like
You can learn wherever you go.
anywhere.
Oh,
You can learn
Whatever
on
you
your
do.
phone,
Yeah.
man.
for like the past generation and our parents and the generation before that, it was drilled into them that once you were old enough, you went to a post-secondary institute, you went to university.
Yep.
And that was the only way you were going to get a good paying job.
Yeah.
That's not true anymore.
No,
It
it's
is
not.
just, it hasn't been true for a while, actually.
it is not. Because like honestly, I don't need to go to school. Like I genuinely don't.
No, you really don't.
For somebody who wants to become a writer, that is a self-made thing.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
something
facts.
that like your work is what shows, like, rather than what your degree says.
And another
It
thing
can
is
help.
Oh, totally. And that's my thing though, is that like I'm going to post-secondary because I want to develop those skills and hone those skills as a sort of like, I'm not going to move anytime soon because I'm in Brandon for a bit. And like, if I'm not going to, and there's not really any opportunities in Brandon for me to, you know, have a full-time writing job, then why not work at PV Mart and continue honing those skills and get that title, that degree? You know what I mean? Like that's my whole thing, is that like you don't have to go to school.
no. Well,
But-
and like another thing is that post-secondary education isn't going anywhere. You can take
No.
it at any time.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
Totally.
My
Like the
mom
whole-
literally took a course like last year. She's like 50.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
just running it, man.
My dad just recently signed up for some evening accounting courses. He's
shit.
85.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
Yeah,
I don't.
you
doesn't
do
matter.
fucking whenever. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
It always felt like there was like a sort of stigma around like
Going to school when you're older.
no, well, just like as soon as you're done high school, you got to go to post-secondary.
Oh,
gotta
And
go
if
to
you
college,
don't, you
gotta
missed
go to
it. You
university.
missed
Because
it.
You know how many people have said to me, I was like, I'm going to take a gap year. They're like, usually people don't come back after they take a gap year. I'm like, no, well, that's a lot.
If people don't come back after the gap year,
It's 'cause they got a good
school
job.
wasn't for them.
Yeah.
Like,
And they probably got a good job.
And like a whole nother thing, like my second round in post-secondary and everything, I performed a lot better
Yeah.
because I wanted to learn stuff. Going into BU, I felt like I was forced.
Yeah.
I
And
felt
you
like I was
were
forced
like
to do it.
taking courses that you had to take.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I was being told like you need these, you need these, you need these, and I had no interest in them.
Totally.
And because I had no interest, I didn't apply myself to it.
Absolutely.
When I went into the trades, I was interested in it and I applied myself to it. And because of that, I ended up going to the Trades Expo.
Mhm.
And I ended up competing. I was selected as an interview on a radio station because of it.
Yep.
And like I have a medal and T-shirts and all this
A Medal of Honor.
little thing.
Purple Heart.
Yeah.
He
Got
got
all these
fucked up at the
awards.
trade expo.
And like yeah, because you actually have that interest, you inadvertently apply yourself more to it.
Yeah.
So I always say that it's better to take a year off, figure out what you want to do. Don't like rush yourself straight out of high school.
Yep.
And go into something that you're not interested in.
And yeah, like if I may transition.
Oh, please transition away.
So that was my thing in high school. It was the constant like, hey yo, if we're getting pretty close to deadlines here, you got to make sure you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I was scrambling, right?
Yeah, so fucking that's so crazy in
I know.
retrospect.
You heard it from like parents. You heard it from teachers.
You heard it
career
from
counselors,
Everybody
Yeah.
was egging you on just to.
So like, what are you gonna do? It was always that
you are
constant
fucked
questioning.
if you're not ready for what
Yeah.
university degree you want to take out of high school.
Yeah, they
What
were
a
like-
load of horse shit.
They were like, yeah, you're like 17. Yeah, figure out the rest of your life like
Yeah,
right now.
Right now. What the fuck?
I do want to push against that. I need, like, obviously that's what we were hearing for sure.
Yeah, well, that's how we interpret it.
Exactly.
honestly.
But I feel like and some teachers definitely were saying that.
Oh, yeah.
And some like adults. We weren't adults. You know, like 17, 18-year-olds. But anyway, I think this is something my dad told me too. It's like, you're not figuring out what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Like name a person recently that has worked at their job for 40, 50 years and then was like, I'm good, you know, like
that
Yeah, facts.
you're right. Counter.
Hmm?
They didn't tell us that in school.
no, they didn't.
No,
No,
like
no,
that's-
no. They were like,
they make it out to be like you are going to do this for the rest of your life. Like you got to know what you're going to want to do.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
100% right. But it's like they masquerade it as not being that, and it's fucking ridiculous.
yeah. And like,
That's what I coming out of education and getting into post-secondary education and loving every second of it. Like I wasn't a very good high school student. You two know that. You were in my course. I kind of suck. I almost didn't graduate.
right.
I graduated top of my class. in college with distinction.
Because there's no greater motivator than interest.
I
you know?
cared so much. It was fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, being like Noah said, being forced to do stuff by the goddamn state you don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
There's no greater way to kill your interest in something than that.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
True, yeah.
No, I would totally go back to like university and stuff if I could, like take the courses that I want and not have to take the courses that I had zero interest in.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. So like, yeah, picture this: 2017.
2017.
Lil Ran.
People are
Hey,
tapping.
what's up? Yep. Yeah, Lil Ran, high school, looking at fucking websites, being like, I don't know what the fuck to take. And my brother went to Red River College, so I was like, okay, let's go Red River College. And then I found the program that was civil engineering technology, and I'm like, not interested in civil engineering technology. I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
Fair enough.
But I was good at math, I was good at science, and it had a 1-year starter program, and then there was 5 different options that you could take after that, like to like branch into like a different. There's a word for it.
Subcategories.
Yeah, I guess something like that. And so I was like, well, absolutely, brother. Like, I'll take this first year, see if I like it. And then if I do, I have 5 different options. Like, I was looking for options. I wasn't looking for set path.
Well,
you are
that's-
here to here.
That's the same thing I did in business. It's like you take 1 year of business and then you get 4 different options.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I chose like, well, I don't really know.
Yeah.
So I might as well go with this one.
Why don't we go with the general thing, and then we'll specify
Yeah,
if we
I was
want
like-
to.
I was like, I like business is cool. Money's neat.
Sure.
Might as well go with that one.
Love money.
Love money.
So does college.
Oh, do they ever?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I went to Red River College in 2017, and I did it for a year, and I loved it. I loved my first year of college so fucking much because I thankfully found a great group of people to hang out with. And like, I'm in Winnipeg with my brother, which was like, if I wasn't with my brother, I wouldn't know how to live by myself. That's
facts.
terrifying. In a new city as well. So it was the perfect storm for me, where I was like, this is like, it felt like grade 12.5 for me, where I was just sitting there. I'm like, you know what? This is more physics that we did in grade 12. This is more chemistry that I did in grade 12. This is more like it. It was a continuation of high school for me in my first year.
Yeah.
And then the burnout came in because it was 8 months of
burnout.
highways, which was some of the worst work I've ever done because it's mainly just sitting around and waiting for shit to happen. Yeah. And I don't do that. I don't love to sit around and be like, well, it's 4 p.m. I got here at 8 a.m. We're still not started. You know, like that shit killed me.
Yeah.
And yes, it paid very, very well, obviously. Like
highways.
Yeah, it's highways. It's a government job, but that taught me a very valuable lesson of like sometimes the money is not worth what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I came back to school after that co-op because that was like a school like required thing, right? And I came back and I'd chosen the environmental engineering course, and it sucked.
So anticlimactic.
Because I lost interest because I was burnt out from that, and I was like, okay, well, at least we got school again. You know, school was fun last year. A lot of my friends went to different like sub courses.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they were gone, and all of a sudden I'm with a bunch of random new people. I had one friend that I was still with, which was like saving grace for the first 6 months that I was there. But yeah, I finished up the first semester. I was like, I hate this. Like, I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible all the time because I was just like, I got kicked out of class one time. It sucked. Like, it was the worst.
How'd you get kicked out of
How
class?
did you get kicked out of class?
I didn't tell you this?
No.
Oh, I'm
Story
sorry.
time.
Why do you think we're
remember
asking?
So I was sitting there, and this was a course with a professor that was just like, there is nothing worse than somebody wasting time. And
Okay,
like,
yeah.
if you are being paid to be prepared to teach a class, I expect you to be prepared to teach the class.
Yeah.
Not to be a bumbling goof being like,
It's your job.
exactly. And that's what killed me about this one prof that just would like show up. He'd be like, okay, we're using this computer program today. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he'd be like, I don't know why it's not working. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know why it's not working? It's your program. You use it every day for your job, man. And like, and this happened for 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight of classes. And I was sitting there, I'm like, I can't keep doing this. And then one day we started class and we're 20 minutes in, and then he's just chatting about stuff. Like, he's just talking with people about kind of the subject matter, but not really. It's more just like a personal chat.
Yeah. And
I'm sitting there and I'm like on my phone because I'm like, I don't care. Like, teach me. You're wasting my time. I'm not here to chat with you. And he's like, so Donald Trump, and I'm like, nope. And my friend Spencer, him and I were on our phones, and we both looked at each other at that moment. Both rolled our eyes. He was watching a video, but like with like muted, and he just looked at me, rolled his eyes, blasted the volume as like the guy was chatting. He was like, "Are we paying attention, guys?" And Spencer goes, "Are you gonna teach the course today?"
Ooh.
And he just flipped on us, and I was like, "You can't even figure out most of your course, man!" And like as I'm stepping up and like getting all my shit and walking out, and I've genuinely like I was elated after that because I was just like,
So you didn't get kicked out? You left?
no, he was like, "You can get out, you can leave."
Why?
And I was like, because we were disrupting his class.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to point out that Spencer's a badass.
Yeah, fucking
Fucking
love that guy.
hilarious. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it wasn't me. I was just like going along with it
I fucking
because I
love
was like in solidarity, but like it pissed me off. And that was the breaking point. That was when I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm doing a voluntary withdrawal because I don't enjoy this course, and I don't see myself doing this career. And I felt like I was trapped in that one. Like, I'm going to be testing soils for the rest of my life. I don't want to do that. That's not something I want to do.
No.
So I left, and then I went to Nova Scotia because I was like, "Oh man, save the coral!"
I want to get to go underwater.
I remember
Once a lifetime.
telling us about that. I think you had just watched like a documentary or something, and that was just the switch.
I sat in my
clicked.
fucking apartment and I watched this fantastic documentary. By the way, it will change your life and make you move to Nova Scotia.
It will do this.
You should put that in the reviews. 5 stars made me move to Nova Scotia.
That's so fucking
Made me
1 star made me move to Nova Scotia.
But yeah, I watched this documentary about it's called Chasing Coral, and it's fantastic. It's on Netflix. Made me cry about coral,
What
guys.
the hell is your goddamn problem?
No, it was really good. I gotta take a sip of water. One sec.
I was wondering why there was a jar of water on the glass. I like the
turned-
reusable.
I turned Randy's
like
mic
it.
up all the way. Oh, I can hear
Don't.
it. Love
I hate
it.
that.
I love it.
So I applied after because like I knew if I dropped out of college, my parents would be like, "So what's your plan?"
Yeah.
So I was like, before I drop out, I'm going to apply to 3 college or universities in Nova Scotia, and I did, and I got into 3 universities in Nova Scotia for marine biology, and then I chose Antigonish, and then halfway through the summer, I was like, marine biology is not actually what I thought it is because I thought it would be like a lot of scuba diving and shit like that. It's not. It's mainly sitting at an office in like a desk, fucking doing work most of the day, most of the year, and then like for 1 month you get to go do like something interesting, you know. So I was like, uh-oh. And so I changed it to an English degree because I realized that I always did great in English in high school and I enjoy stories.
Fucks with writing.
About in hobbies, but that's never going to be heard.
Unless it pops up miraculously in a month.
Yeah, right?
Whoa.
Well, I would post it if it showed up.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. I know I'm going long on the tooth on this, but I
No,
have a
keep
long
going.
history in school. So yeah, I went to Antigonish and then I realized like, uh-oh,
Spaghetti-o.
I am the only person I know in a province in a town that is secluded and is a university town that loves to party. And I thought to myself, man, I'm going to go to the party school so I can learn how to socialize and get better at social. I stayed in my room.
Didn't work.
Stayed in my
You're
room
like,
for
"Ah,
4
it's not
months.
That's so fucking funny.
It was very funny.
That is such a goddamn Randy thing to do.
It is, right? It's going in blindly expecting something to happen and then not happening. But yeah, and then I transferred back to BU, but I kept with the English thing because I realized like I think I found the thing I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And so talking about school, but interested school, like you being interested in the course matter, that's for me why I think university is that's why I think university is better than college, because university very much is like sorry Brad, I'm so sorry, it's so hot in here and I can tell that Brad was like trying to be very quiet about it, but like,
Why'd you mention anything?
It really threw me off.
Brad is taking his sweater off.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know.
Okay, back in.
But yeah, university, you get to choose the courses that you want to take. AO, is there a film course? and it has to do with my degree, kind of, hell yeah, I'm going to take that because I'm more interested in that than fucking Beowulf and like Shakespeare. There's a course called Shakespeare. I'm like, fuck no, I'm never taking that. There's a poetry course. Absolutely not, I'm taking that. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what's much better about university is that you're getting to choose, like, yes, you are confined to like, you have to take this certain amount of courses in this specific subject matter. So,
And you need these prerequisites.
yeah, exactly. But like, within that, if say I was going to the BC University, like the one Jordan's going to, UBC. Shout out to Jordan. I looked at their English department. So much better.
Oh, gee.
UBC
There's so
is
many
actually
cooler courses in there.
They got a really good school at UBC actually.
Dan, they have podcast writing as a course.
Sounds awful.
No, it
Yeah,
sounds cool.
sounds terrible.
And like there's television writing and there's like specific like super hyper specific things that I'm like that is so cool. However, I am in Brandon, and like from what I have to choose from here in Brandon, still like I'm more interested in this shit than like I don't know soil sampling that I did in college. You know what I mean?
How many sprouts are in this square inch of soil?
Right? Or like what's the pH level of this bad boy? And I'm like I don't care.
Damn, that shit's so exciting.
weed density of this patch of grass.
And what's the algae? How do you discover what algae is? I'm like I don't care.
Just the one person in the back just hyped up, just like,
Let's go! This is not the weed I thought it was going to be.
But so I've been at BU for 2 years now. Well, this will be half year, 2 years. I've been there for 2.5 years, and I've been doing it slowly so that I don't burn out again. That's a big scare.
I've been thinking about that too. I kind of want to do school slower, maybe.
Yeah.
That
was
just
that's the thing
because
about college, though.
I still get burnt out, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it might be because I was mentally ready the first year to not do school. I was like, I'm gonna relax, like just do some work, and then school came around, and I was like, yeah, I'm in this bitch. So what's up?
Hey.
And then, and then all of a sudden it's like grind time, and it's not like high school. It's not like you can leave your assignments 3 weeks late and then just hand them in.
Coast.
Hand them in, like do them in a day, hand them in, and then it's like, oh, it's at 80%. See you later. So I don't know. I got burnt out definitely near the end of the year. I did really good in the first semester. I was like token smart guy in the class, and then the second semester rolled around, and I just couldn't give less of a fuck.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping this second year isn't like that, since it's a little more specific.
So you have 2 years total, right?
Yeah. So it's like the first year, and then it's like either like finances, marketing, accounting, or some other one.
Right.
So I'm gonna go into finances.
Oh yeah.
And by the sounds of it at the job, pretty much every single person there started off as a summer student. So I might have a good opportunity there to work there for a little while because I'm not like woohoo business. Fuck
But again,
yeah, but
like,
let me try it out, you know?
Guess what, Brad? You're not going to work there for the next 40 years
Fuck
of your
no.
life.
I'm very
You know
aware
what I
of
mean?
that. I'm like, I'm probably going to work here for a little bit while I figure out what I can want to do. And I can work remotely now with Westoba, so I might just fuck
That's
off.
fucking
That'd be
awesome.
great.
I might
That's
just
awesome.
straight up leave.
That's what's so interesting is that so many people that I've talked to, like older people, like parents,
Yeah.
are like, yeah, at some point I would like to, since a lot of things have learned that they can go remote.
Yeah.
I would love to just go travel and then do my job from remote. you
Yeah,
know?
like just rip around in a van.
Sorry, Dan, I cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say that I really like the fact that the entire world's paradigm of work is shifting towards people being more aware that you can work remotely. And I also fucking hate when like CEOs and corporations are just against it because they want to keep eyes on their workers and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Like Microsoft. Microsoft is telling people you got to start coming back to work now, even though when people are working from home, the company's overall productivity goes up
Well, that's all I've heard from
because
people who
people are
work at home.
happy.
That's all I've heard from people working at home. They're like, I get so much more stuff done while I'm at home.
This is fucking great.
Do you know why? Because people aren't stuck in fucking commuting for 2 hours a day.
That's another big thing. Yeah.
You know?
Also, you're happier at home.
Yeah.
You're comfortable. Like
That's
there's no social pressure.
obviously this is different school wise versus work wise, and this is a slight tangent, but it's
They tie
slightly
in
related.
though. So
For school, I could not pay attention for the life of me.
Oh, there was some days I was the same way. I was like, I could never actually focus on school. I'd be sitting there, I'd be like, really try to focus. Then 5 minutes later, I'd be like,
What am I talking about?
I
What
have
the fuck is
missed
going on right
past
now?
like 5 minutes of what you've been saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like grab something from my desk. I would fucking go into the kitchen and start making something to eat, or I'd like open up another tab and start fucking around in something else.
Oh yeah,
Cool math
Online
games.
school,
Yeah,
not even a thing.
exactly. I played the fucking what was it? Meebles?
Meebles.
Yeah, that was it.
Meeblings.
Meeblings. That was it. But like, once we started going back to the classroom for university, I was so much more like
I was.
I have to focus because otherwise I have nothing else to do other
Yeah.
than like listen to what the professor's telling me, and I learned way more.
Yeah, well, yeah, in school for sure. I think being in person for school is way better. Remote for work is better.
But
for
that's-
some people, I guess.
I was about to say
Yeah,
that's
it's like
just us.
a generalization, but I
Like,
don't want to generalize.
Some people probably thrived with at home.
and some people probably didn't.
I didn't.
I
No,
know. I know for a fact I couldn't.
I found it was nice to have the option of it,
Mhm.
but if you ever came across a problem or anything, it was 10 times harder to solve
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
because you didn't have like a lifeline of raising your hand for the teacher.
You also couldn't spitball against peers. Like you couldn't spitball ideas against peers. Like, oh, is this how you did this? Like maybe we should try this.
Yeah,
then,
that's
doing
pretty-
stuff. It's a pretty helpful tool.
That's pretty huge for like the creative writing courses that I took because
Yeah.
like a lot of the courses were like engineered for like, okay, we're gonna have like a group discussion now. Nothing worse in the fucking world than a breakout room where it's
Oh,
like,
I
God.
fucking hate breakout
ugh.
rooms.
It's like, all right, here's
What?
this little echo chamber that you and 3 other classmates are going to go into, and you've never talked to each other before in your lives, and most of them don't have their cameras on.
And none of them are gonna say anything.
Chat. It's like,
Oh.
no.
Yeah,
That sounds awful.
You're all just stuck there for 2 minutes until somebody actually says something.
Exactly.
I was always I had that. Nobody in my class liked to talk during the online breakout room, so I just started like doing it by myself
Yep.
in the breakout rooms out loud.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, well maybe this is a good idea, and we could put this down, and then we could
Radio
put this down.
silence.
Yeah, and then they'd be like, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was the exact
Yeah.
same thing because even for
Fuck me,
the automotive
man.
trades, we did have remote like through Zoom meetings and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that was like we would have Zoom meetings in the morning, and then we would have to go in to like actually do work.
Yeah.
And we had breakout rooms, and I remember another pet peeve of mine.
Please.
I hate group projects.
I fucking hate group projects too.
They are the
They're
worst.
Probably
I
the thing
hate-
that burnt me out the most in college is group
Yep.
projects.
There's nothing I hate more than having like the quality of my work being determined by somebody else.
Yes.
That doesn't give a fuck usually.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like anytime I talk to Mike about like rest in peace, Mike. Obviously, you know,
R.I.P.
tragic.
Rest in peace.
But like that was the thing. Whenever he chatted to me about like his group project, which is his main final project,
Yeah.
right? Or like I think it was for.
I remember
at
he
least that
called
semester.
me in to help because
because
couldn't
his
get it.
other classmates were unreliable and garbage.
Even
And
if
it's like,
even if his instructor
wow,
was some days.
my mark is predicated on the fact that my like the other people are not participating, so I have to do 200% more work than because somebody is doing
already
0%.
and you're already burnt out doing 100% work.
yeah.
So it's just like another thing to add on.
one thing that was nice is if you knew that you were like the spearhead of like the group project and
Yeah.
stuff, if somebody wasn't pulling their weight, you could just say fuck it and submit the thing and then like email the teacher afterwards being like, yeah, these people weren't doing anything.
I had that happen to me in my college.
Yeah, I had to do that, and it ended up getting the due date actually pushed back
Oh,
for
Oh,
the
shit.
entire class.
I had that happen to me, and the person who was not pulling their weight just failed the project, and it was
Damn.
like 20% of the grade.
Oh,
so it was
shit.
hilarious! I was like, get fucked.
Well, I mean, like, don't go to university or college.
don't feel
if you're not-
sorry for
yeah,
them,
Yeah, yeah.
like-
Like, if you're not going to do the work,
That's wild. All of you saying that. I loved group projects when I was in college.
It sounded like you had a really good group.
Well, yeah,
in
that's
general.
the thing. Oh man, because it was so creative, and we were all there because we wanted to be. Everyone meshed so well, but not just because of that. Everyone who was in my class, pretty much everyone, had a different focus for media.
yeah.
But when we all pitched together and everyone combined all of their skills into one mega transformer,
Megazord.
everyone's skills just like complemented each other's, and it was great. I really enjoyed group projects.
It would just flow for you guys.
It really would. But I can get like I had an instance, Noah, where we had a 4-person group project. It was stop motion animation,
Okay.
but like a professional one, so like really high quality. And just 2 of the people just didn't show up for more than half of the like 5 or 6 sessions we had.
Yeah.
And they didn't do any work. So I went to my teacher, Erin, and I was like, before the project was finished, I was like, hey, what happens if these guys literally aren't doing anything? And she was like, just submit what you have, and then I'll deal with them later. And I was like, okay, and we did. And then I went to her a week later. I'm like, what happened to those guys? And she was like, oh, I just gave them zeros. And I was like, nice.
Damn.
I just, that felt good. I was like, get fucked.
It is satisfying to have
See others fail.
well, just
when
to
they
kinda,
deserve it.
Yeah, just
Yeah, the
to kind of like
comeuppance.
have that karma be distributed.
Exactly.
No, for sure.
in action, you know. And like, thankfully, in the English department, it's a lot of it is like it is based on your writing. You know, like you're not going to do a group essay, right?
Can you imagine?
Oh,
Or you write the
I did-
beginning, I'll write the
That's
middle.
that's all I did, man.
What do you mean?
In business, it was all group essays the entire time.
Ugh.
I'm not even joking. My
What?
final project in one of my classes was a 3-person group, and everybody wrote 20 pages,
That's
and you
awful.
meshed it together.
That's
You had to
not
do 60 pages?
Yeah, we had to do 60 pages. I had to write 20 pages
Was it
of work
double
by
spaced?
myself.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter because that's double the work if it's not.
Totally, but like
I can't remember.
It's probably double.
60
think it was
pages
probably-
double spaced is still
That's
a lot of
paper.
work.
Yeah,
And
but
I think
20
it was like
pages per person.
Yeah.
size 12, double space sucks.
Size
Like,
80 font. Write 3 words. Oh, I'm done.
Well, there we go.
no, then it was ass.
yeah,
I think
sounds like ass.
I remember the end of the thing comes up, and we gave we just basically what we did is there was like topics you had to write about. Basically, we wrote about like the last 3 months of classes, like, oh, give me this, and this, and then we just like split that up as like each person writes about whatever we gave you. And I remember the last day, the one guy comes to me and is like, the videos for the lectures didn't work.
On the last day.
Yeah, and it's like, and he didn't show up to classes. I was like, man,
Come
you
on.
have 20 pages to write right now.
My
And I
God.
think he handed in 9 pages of work, and I was like, I'm gonna shoot myself. Like, I don't think I could go through this school like this. This sucks. And that was just like, obviously, it's the end of the year, and I was like, I don't care. I'm done. Like, we got through it, and I passed. So I was like, okay, it's cool.
That's all that matters.
But I was like, that sucks.
There is
so
that
much.
moment of like any semester that's just like, you know what? This is good enough. Like, I'm done.
It's like you put how many hours into a project, and it's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
I remember there was one project, and the people that I was working with, one of them was definitely one of the people that just kind of like coasts along and kind of piggybacks off of other people's work.
I hate that.
So it was a group thing. We had to do a presentation on safe work habits, basically going through like WMIS and stuff, basically writing like a WMIS manual. So we got put into the little breakout rooms. Nobody said anything. I started spearheading the project, being like,
Classic,
okay, we'll get you to work on this, you to work on this, you to work on this. And then everybody just submit it to me, and I will compile it because I didn't want to trust anybody else to
Yep.
do
No,
the
honestly,
work.
though,
It
yeah.
do be like that.
So I ended up getting the work from, I think, the 2 other people, and then I had my work done, and we were still waiting on this guy. I ended up talking to the teacher. We got the extension and everything, and then he sent it in, but he sent in just kind of like the worst written stuff.
Just not
Yeah.
good.
Just
Yeah.
you can tell that there was no effort put into it.
How did you get into uni, bro? You need a
So-
65 in English.
So what I ended up doing before I submitted it to the teacher and everything is I took his work. I didn't say anything because
Oh boy.
I
you-
compiled it into it, and then I highlighted what everybody did and added the legend at the end of it.
Yep.
Sent it off to the teacher, and then I took copies of it and distributed it to everybody and being like, hey guys, this is the final product. Just figured you'd want to see it. And he was livid. Like
Good.
when we had like in class like work, when we were working on cars and stuff,
Yep.
I could just feel his eyes like burning holes into the
Good.
back of my
No,
skull.
fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Do some work, man.
Do some work.
What letter did his name start with?
D.
E.
Fuck Edward
Yeah.
Johnston. It's his name.
How'd you get to the Johnson part?
I just,
Just decided
I'm
it.
fuck. I
It's
just know,
not
bro.
official.
He knows people.
I just know.
Guys, we talk a lot about school. If anything, we could do another podcast about school.
Sure, could. I got stuff I still want to talk about.
So many things.
Yeah.
We gotta start wrapping it
But
up.
we gotta start wrapping it up.
Oh, we're wrapping it up,
It's like
baby.
a hot dog. You wrap it up.
You don't wrap
What?
what?
Wrap it up.
Randy has been eating hot dogs wrong his whole life.
Every time
Randy
I get
did-
a hot dog, get a little wrapping paper, a little woo.
Just give it to
Without
somebody
thinking
else.
Give it to some. There you go. Happy birthday.
Why? Fucking Christmas, you pick it up. Why is this warm?
Why is there a hot dog and a tortilla?
Did you guys learn about?
Why is there a hot dog and a tortilla?
Wrap it up.
Wrapping it up.
Did you guys ever learn about the invention of the hot dog bun? Like in school?
please
Was this like
No.
no? Okay.
No.
They didn't have a hot dog class.
Oh, that's weird. Grade
Yeah.
3.
No.
No, you have one of those?
Well, I'm gonna save that for the next episode of the Junk
Tell us the
Monkeys
fucking story.
podcast. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. I'm
What
not
the
gonna tell you the
fuck?
story.
I'm gonna delete this episode.
Don't. I need this, Dan.
Me too. I'm the editor.
Thank you so much for listening. Obviously, we got to 34 subscribers. I'm really, really excited
Let's
about that because we need
freaking
one
go.
more for 35.
Oh my fucking!
And then it's just that slight hill to get to 50.
Quick 15 subscribers.
Your
we'll get
explanation, I think it was on Hat Questions, but on one of the recent podcasts, you explained if you just keep putting it up by a little bit, you keep hitting goals, you get that dopamine flowing. I was like, that is so fucking sad. That is the saddest shit I've ever
what
heard.
I need, Dan.
Just that little hit.
It's the only way to see this as a viable product.
So fucking funny. I think it's a viable product because I have fun.
Hey, me too. Hey, and that's what it's all about,
It's
guys.
about fun.
Yep.
Fun.
So thank you so much for listening and
F is
subscribing
for
and supporting.
friends.
Yes.
No. Or is it? Yes, it is. Who do stuff together. Damn it.
And
is for
you
you
is for
and
you.
me.
and me. Speaking of you, thank you, Dan.
whoa.
Whoa.
Audible high
Yeah.
five.
It wasn't
That was
very
awful.
awful. I'll edit in a high five sound effect.
Okay, cool. That'd be great. It's you making the sound effects.
It'll
Sound
just be me
effect.
saying high five.
Yeah, thank you, obviously, Dan, for
Yeah.
creating great music that you're probably hearing
Oh, whoa,
right now.
Whoa, whoa.
Holy shit.
What the hell is
Ooh,
that?
I'm schmoving.
This shit.
I haven't even made this piece
slaps,
yet.
man.
Wow.
That's fucking wild.
Brand new piece.
Whoa.
It's from the future.
And thank you for editing our podcast as well.
You're welcome.
It's greatly appreciated. And one day we'll pay you.
I was gonna say.
Thank you, Dan, for editing.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do
Really
appreciate it.
You'd be a
I'll get you a
fucking
coffee.
bargain.
And then
more
lastly, I
coffee.
want to thank the Creation Nation Makeup Space. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You want to make a space?
You can do it here.
You can creation.
Space that make. Here at the Space
You can
Maker.
creation.
They got woodworking. They got mug making.
Mug masonry.
Mug.
Got
They got
it.
hat
They got
making.
Cuphead and Mugman.
They got.
Come
Can't
see
believe
them.
it. You can 3D print them actually. Guess what?
Whoa.
Because they got 3D printers.
You could make a podcast about them.
Yeah. Don't use our podcast booth. This is ours.
Get the hell out of here.
And yeah, that's the show, guys. I'm so glad that we got this one in the bag.
100%. Well, because they're hearing it right now.
I hope so.
Me too.
It's all lost in the ether.
I'm gonna fucking strangle you if this one gets lost.
So yeah, thanks for tuning in. And next
Woo.
week we'll learn about the invention of the hot dog bun.
Nice.
Tell me the fucking story.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you guys later.
No, seriously, tell me the story. And that'll be the end.